sparkle. Right, now for building. So your next step is a piece of cherry cobbler cardstock, which I have trimmed to 14.4 by 10.1 centimeters. So this is going to be the main mat for this card. And then on top of that, using a piece of this beautiful red foiled vellum, and this measures 9.7 centimeters by 6 centimeters deep, and you just want a couple of strips of fast fuse, one on each end, and you don't really see it once it's mounted and the card finished. And that goes at the bottom there. Okay, the top section of that, so what will be going on here, measures 9.7 centimeters by 8 centimeters, so that's slightly wider at the top than at the bottom. And we're going to stamp this with the Christmas sentiment, which says a very Merry Christmas to you and yours, which I think is lovely, lovely, lovely sentiment. And the good thing about this black ink pad, the new archival one is it's lignin and acid free, so you can use it in your scrapbook memory books. But it also dries faster than the old basic black ink pad, which got discontinued late last year. And you'll be pleased to know it's in the seasonal catalogue, and if you order online, and look, that's not come out properly, again yakking, so just turn your cardstock over, and this is a different type of texture, the pad, compared to the normal one, so I should be stamping down perhaps a little bit firmer. There you go. Right, so I'm just giving that a moment to dry, so whilst that's drying I'm going to spritz that, clean it, by which time the ink pad should be dry, the ink on there should be dry. Put that over to one side, have a little look, not quite dry yet. Right, okay. Now on this original, this is the one I showed you to start off with, you'll see the top section here is embossed, dry embossed, and that's using one of the fun frames. And I love this particular one, and the sentiment happens to sit in this really nicely. So to do that you need your Big Shot, and you want the multi-purpose platform. So this is the multi-purpose platform here, and how you would use it for dry embossing. So this is the fun frame here, so you would put your cardstock inside, and then that gets enveloped between one cutting plate and the other, and you always want to put your cardstock through the Big Shot so that the crease of the embossing folder is going through first, otherwise you can get wrinkled cardstock. So then this would be topped by tab 1, and then that whole thing gets put through your Big Shot. Just run through in one direction, and your Big Shot you can run one way and then back the other way, and it helps to prolong the life of your Big Shot as well. Right, so this should be, I hope, dry now. Give it a press on there to make sure. Yeah, that looks okay. Right, so I'm going to place this in here, fold it over, make sure my sentiment is pretty much in there so you've got room for movement. Try and get it as straight as possible. There you go. So 1 cutting plate, 2 cutting plates, and just a moment I'm going on to my big shot. And there you go. So this time how I've embossed it is with the embossed side. Embossed means the raised side. Last time I did it with the debossed side, and I have done that on purpose so that you can see the difference. So this one, the image is punched backwards, and this one is punched forward. And when you look at your embossing folder, what you want to check is, if you want the embossed side to check, make sure that the Stampin' Up and Sizzix logos are on the front of your embossing folder. If you put it through this way so you haven't got that, you will get the debossed image. Okay, right, next is another little bit of sponging, again with real red. This will really help to highlight the images. And the ink does it does change colour as it dries, so it will lighten up. Okay, and that goes to one side, and then that just goes on with some fast fuse, couple of strips. Gets mounted on the front here. Leave a little gap, just about a millimetre between the two pieces, and then that goes on the top. And we want some, this is cherry cobbler thicker baker's twine, so you just want this to go around your cardstock a couple of times and tie a knot and a bow. And you will want that roughly over where the join is between the two pieces of cardstock. And then you can pull, before you cut it, you can pull your ends so you get your bow the size you want it to be. I quite like long ends. And then finally your flower. Goes on top, and I think I'm going to put mine, actually open this up like this, and you can move it. I never do mine too tight so that you can move where the knot and everything goes. Right, I think I'm going to put mine there like that. And then that couple of strips of fast fuse again. And that goes onto your card base. And there you have it. So 2 cards, slightly different colours, different embossing, but using the same products, and that's it. So thank you for watching today, and I hope to see you back tomorrow.